Guys, this is Crystal and I am showing you a small haul of things I just picked up at Savers. I was there till closing, the last hour and a half or so, and tomorrow is $2 day, and if I may make it back first thing in the morning to pick up a few things for the $2 deal. There was still a few things in the top section, and I was thinking I might hit up the jeans because I actually made some good scores on jeans from there, and they got a lot of them. So I'm hoping maybe they've got some good $2 jeans tomorrow. But I wanted to pick up a few of the things, even though had I waited until tomorrow, I probably could have picked them up. Most of the, like half of these things were 50% off. And I probably could have waited until tomorrow to pick them up for $2. But I wanted to get them just in case I didn't make it back, because I'm notorious for doing that. Plus, I'm kind of sourced out right now, and I've got a bunch of other stuff I got to list, but I've been really pushing getting more customers into my store, and I've been getting a lot of clothing, repeat customers, and I needed to just get some clothing up. And I want to start doing like a minimum of 10 clothing items a day and a minimum of like 5 non-clothing items a day, or hard goods or whatever. And then if I do more clothes, fine, or if I do more hard goods, fine, but I want to do like a minimum of each type of item every day, just to keep my clothing people, you know, there's always fresh, it's a little bit of fresh stock for them to look at. But anyways, now I bought 10 pieces, and the total came out to $39. Technically $39.02, but let's just say $39. And what did I calculate it? I had it in my head a minute ago. Now I don't remember. But I think the average price for all of these came out to, well, I guess it makes sense, $3.90. Do the math. 10 pieces for $39, average $3.90 per piece. Now, I think most of these pieces are worth $3.90, and then after looking at them, I'm like, well, this one piece definitely may or may not be worth $3.90, but I think I'm going to do pretty good on these. Okay, so let's get started. Now, this first one is a One World, and it's a 2X, and it is velour. And it's got like the strings, it's like a peasant sublimation top in velour, and then it has these really awesome like sheer sleeves here and just beautiful colors. And yeah, somebody may not buy this over the summer, but it's going to be in my store ready to go for the fall. But I do have some buyers from Canada that come back, and they are a little more willing to buy these types of things in the summer. I mean, I imagine they still have a few chilly nights here and there or something. But anyways, this was just super duper duper cute. Everything about it is like a winner, and I'm probably going to try to get $18 to $24 for it. Like, shooting for 24, but I think I can comfortably, easily get 18. We'll see, though. Time will tell. I am also going to be running this big 50% off sale, and it might go down below that 18, and so be it. But that's okay. Okay, so this one is kind of really hard to see what it's doing here. It's sort of like a poncho top. If you can see there, and it has this sort of lace sequin applique going down the back. This is actually the back of it, and it's kind of on the cropped side, and then the front is plain. And it's made by Annabelle, and it's 1X. Now, Annabelle is not necessarily an amazing brand, but I thought somebody's going to want this. I've sold enough stuff based on style. I think this is a winner. Worst case scenario, I'm thinking 15 or maybe a little less. But I'm going to try to get 18 to 22 maybe on that. The one interesting thing, though, when you type in Annabelle, you'll get all of these listings for who is that other designer? Lily Pulitzer. She's got like some top or something that's called the Annabelle top or something. And they come in like different styles, but they're called the Annabelle top. And so there's a bunch of those that sold. So I'm assuming people are searching for Annabelle by Lily Pulitzer a lot. So maybe that'll help. I mean, I'm not going to use Lily Pulitzer anywhere in my listing, but when people are searching for Lily Pulitzer Annabelle, my top might pop up. Who knows? And a lot of people are searching for Lily Pulitzer stuff. Okay, now this one, I love how pretty this is. It's just so sweet. Love the colors. People seem to really be like these sort of colors. Like there's a little bit of aqua and pink, and they're light and airy. And this is a Lauren Conrad, which I think I've sold her before, but I was just looking at comps earlier today because I picked up another Lauren Conrad last week, and I went to go list it, and I'm like, let me look this one up. And some of her stuff can go for in the 20s, like her tops and stuff. So as soon as I saw this, I'm like, beautiful looking Lauren Conrad, let's go for it. Again, I don't know. I mean, really, I can't say how much I'm going to get for any of this stuff, really. But it's all stuff that people, that this is like this, at least the styles and the brands tend to be tried and true, or I've looked them up and I've got some kind of indication that they're going to be good. Now this one's kind of hard to see because there's black underneath, but it's just like a cap sleeve tee, but it's got this tiered sort of raw edge tie-dye design with little sequins on it. And I just sold one similar to this for like $15 by Coldwater Creek. I mean, it's different than the Coldwater Creek one, but it has the same zhuzh. So I'm thinking worst case scenario 15 on this one. People seem to like this kind of style, and it's ink, which is still an okay brand. At least, you know, people may not be searching for it, but if they come across that top, they'll be like, oh, and it's ink, and we like that brand, or what, I don't know what. Now, this one was a surprise to me. It's by Elon, and this one was super duper cheap because it's kind of wrinkled up. I don't know why they just put it super duper cheap. I got it for like $1.50. 50% off $2.99, and but this could go for into the 20s. People are bidding on this top, and it's actively selling. Like this top is actively selling, the specific top, or at least tops that look very similar to it by that brand. And I had never heard of that brand, so Elon, if you see it, might be a good brand. I don't think the thrift stores know about it. So that one was kind of a new one to me. Torrid, tried and true, super cute style, good size. It's got this cowl here, and then it's got this sheer detailing in the back, or whatever. It's got a sheer upper back. Great for date night. This is probably going to be somebody's staple top. And then the back does have this really nice sort of... Oh, and then the back cowls, too, which is kind of nice. I don't know if you can see that there. So, I mean, I think, you know, worst case scenario 15, but $20 on that, because people need those and like those. And this is a particularly nice Lane Bryant. It's like a wrinkle crinkle. It's a good size, beautiful colors, beautiful pattern. It's got the cutouts here, the cold shoulder almost. It's got these nice wooden beads. People seem to like the wood beads. And then it sort of ties in the back, kind of an empire. It's lined, so you don't need a cami top. This is a new brand to me, too. You know, when I went, usually when I go, I get a load of things, and I've got, like, stuff I definitely want, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get, and I know the brands and all that stuff, and then I'll like double check those for flaws, or I'll like, you know, narrow it down, go, yeah, I don't know about this one, or This one's kind of higher price, but it's not really necessarily, like I have this Free People top. And I'm like, yeah, if I could get it for $2, because the Free People isn't doing like it used to. It's crazy. So, and it wasn't like that awesome of a Free People top either. And they just wanted too much for it, so I like had to put it away. So, but this was like in a pile of tops that I'm like, well, I don't really know for sure if this brand is good, so I'll look it up. So, out of all the shirts, I probably looked up 25 shirts, or 25 brands, and this one, this Agora brand, and then that other Elon brand looked like the best. So these look like they're actively selling, could get in the high teens to the low to mid 20s. And it is pretty darn cute. So, but it is sheer and there's no tank. So I'm imagining this might have come with some kind of a tank in its original, at the time of its original purchase. This is the one that I probably shouldn't have bought, but you know what? It's super cute. And I actually sometimes, like, this is a Kohl's brand, and it's not like a lot of them are going for a lot of money. But you know what? Sometimes people just like the style of the thing. And I think this has potential. I've sold stuff that kind of looks like this in like no-name brands for $12 to $15. So I'm hoping to get $15. And worst case scenario, I don't. I get something for it, but somebody will want it eventually. And I basically paid $3.90 for it. But again, this is probably something that's better to maybe pay $2 or less for, in my opinion. Or it would be a really great find at the bins. And with that said, I have big plans to go to the bins. And I was thinking I wanted to go to the bins like every day for a week. But I don't know, because you know what, it's hot as heck here, and I don't know what it's going to be like at the bins, if it's going to be super duper hot there. So if it's not super duper hot in the bins, I'll make it a point to go every day for like 5 days and just see if there's like better days than others, you know. Is it just you got to go all the time? Is it just one of those things where you got to go all the time? Or, and you know, some days you might find 15 or 20 things, and other days you might find 50 things, you know. So like, I don't know, because I've never gone there often enough. But I gotta tell you, I do, even though a lot of the stuff I get at the bins sells for less overall money, my profit margins always look good. And sometimes I'll get stuff that I think is going to sell higher, and it does sell for like a higher price, but I paid too much for it, and it really cuts into your profit margin. So yeah, I really got to do the bin thing. And then the other thing, I had this other crazy idea to go to the bins in LA, because I live about 5 hours away from the LA bins. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and I live on the West End, so it's like an hour closer to everybody else that lives in the Phoenix Metro, half the other people that live in the Phoenix Metro area, to the bins, you know, so I got that going for me. And then there's some bins like in San Bernardino, which will be the first bins on the way. So I was thinking I might hit those up and see how I do, and I could probably do it all in one day. But my vehicle has 200,000 miles on it, and I always said, well, if I really want to take a long road trip, I'll rent a car. And sure, I could rent a car for this venture, but then that cuts into my overall profit. And I estimated that I'd need to get a certain amount of items, and I can't remember what it was, for it to turn out to be, you know, barely $2 for every item I buy. But that would be fine as long as I find some decent items. But if I'm finding like awesome items, then it'll be totally worth it, you know, and I'll know, okay, I'm going to come back, and it might be worth it to do an Airbnb one for a couple nights and go for 2 or 3 days in a row. Or when I go out, I've always wanted to go to like the clothing district and just check that out and see what you can get. So I don't know. I'm hoping to do that in the fall. If I can swing it this summer, great. I'd love to get out of the heat here. But someday, you know, it's on my bucket list. I got a lot of things on my bucket list that I talk about, but it doesn't happen. But that's how you make things happen. You just put them on your bucket list and then you forget about it. And then the next thing you know, it's like happening. That's like the secret. You don't want to constantly... There's a time and a place to constantly be focused on what it is you want. And then there's a time and a place to just say, yes, this is what I would like to have happen. And then it happens magically. So, I don't know, like, my dad and his girlfriend might be going out to California sometime over the summer, so maybe I'll hitch a ride with them. And I'll be like, drop me off at the bins. And then I can rent a car from there and then drive that home or something, you know, and then, but it's still, well, it'll save me on gas if I hitch a ride with my dad. Anyways, so hope that's not too much chit-chat for you, and thanks for watching, and I hope you find way better things than I find, and I hope you are making way more money than me. Okay, bye.